Maria Ho becomes the last woman eliminated. Mark Newhouse moving closer to back-to-back final tables.
Texas Dolly Brunson, who wrote the book.
And there it is. Helmuth wins the championship.
Ryan Reese is the world champion.
Biggest day of my life.
Welcome back to the 2014 World Series of Poker main event telecast, presented by Gentleman Jack. 57 players remain. Just one wins $10 million. Hi, everyone. Lon McCarron with Norman Chad and Kara Scott. Dong Gua is a main event first-timer without a care in the world.
I remember that feeling when I was 2 years old.
Brian Devonshire is a rafting guy trying to wade through the main event.
If I ever start a whitewater rafting company, Devo will be my first hire. Book it.
I'm real vain. I shaved this morning.
You shaved? You're doomed.
The main event beard?
I don't.
Look.
Yeah, no, I don't do playoff beards. I
can't even grow a beard, and I'm growing one.
Yeah, I'm way too pretty to go unshaven on TV.
Brian Roberts and Lee Force seem to have different philosophies on shaving.
Lee Force is a throwback. I'm not exactly sure what he's a throwback to, but it feels right to call him that.
Chip leader Kyle Karanen survived the choppy waters of day 5.
Kyle's trash-talking opponent, Curtis Rystad, is long gone. Kyle is free and clear to run over this field.
Kyle has a nearly 2 million chip lead on Robert Park. Brazil's Bruno Politano's in 4th. Lee Force is in 6th.
Yeah, my guy Lee Force finally getting a little FaceTime. Why am I a Lee Force fan? Among many reasons, he loves to bowl.
Let's get to an outer table right away. On the right, Billy Pappas with pocket jacks was just 4-bet by Ryan Fair on the left with ace-5 off.
This is Ryan Fair's 3rd consecutive main event cash, 4th overall.
And Pappas shoves. Pappas in the small blind. Fair had the button and will give it up. And Billy Pappas, the foosball champ, demonstrates how to play jacks to the hilt or not at all. Great 5-bet from Billy Pappas to take the pot.
Pappas routinely takes care of business there. I'll be honest with you, he looks like a foosball champion.
11 years ago, when Chris Moneymaker won the main event, the message was loud and clear: anyone can win poker's biggest title. Jamie Gold came along and solidified that message, as did 07 champ Jerry Yang. But since Yang, we haven't had a true amateur win poker's most prestigious tournament. Is this the year, Norman?
Well, the main event is still America's last great gold rush, and anyone with a will and a way and a chip and a chair can mine that gold. So can a guy like Billy Pappas, who's used to dealing cards instead of dragging pots, who travels the world as a foosball flag bearer, actually win poker's biggest prize? Heck, Lon and I standing here announcing this event, that's a 1-outer. Pappas winning the main event, that might be a 2-outer. Go get him, Billy.
There is Mark Newhouse. He didn't win the main event last year, but he did make the final table, has a great chance to do it again. A bigger first-place prize this year, $10 million. All of the remaining tables are tough, but Newhouse has a stack to work with.
Mark has 75 big blinds. I expect him to be in most pots.
Andrei Zaichenko is the table chip leader, though.
Lightborn and Newhouse are trouble to Zaichenko's left. It's good to smile, but think small, my friend.
There is Zaichenko from Moscow, $650,000 in World Series earnings alone, not including this main event. Ace-6 of diamonds.
Weak suited aces are all the rage in Russia. All the rage.
Zaichenko under the gun +2. And there you see a raise to 130,000.
With Maria Ho gone, that leaves us with 57 poorly dressed men left in this main event.
And day 6, we'll see some crazy swings and chip stacks. Folded around to Newhouse on the button, Jack-10 off. Newhouse loves to play poker, loves to play every hand a call. Brian Roberts in the small blind, poker pro from Houston, gives it up to the big blind. Aaron Kaiser, he looks down at 7-6 of hearts. Another Maryland guy here.
Yeah, he grew up in Silver Spring, Maryland, a half a mile from me. Went to Maryland like me, now lives in Los Angeles like me, and he's never going back. None of us are. That's why traffic is gridlocked in L.A.
The Terp wants to play.
Newhouse is an L.A. guy. Zaichenko wants to move to L.A., but his wife won't let him.
All right, 3 to the flop. Ace, Jack, Queen, Rainbow, no hearts. How about that? Maryland, my Maryland, big miss for him. He checks. Top pair for Zaichenko.
The dilemma of the weak ace. Is it good? Zaichenko thinks so.
He's going to try to puff up his weak ace here. He bets 210,000 to Newhouse with bottom pair and a gut shot. And an easy call for Mark. Kaiser folds. Heads up now, Newhouse and Zaichenko. Two big stacks. Zaichenko has the bigger stack of these two. 8 of spades. Zaichenko still best with a pair of aces.
And still the dilemma of the weak ace. Is it still good after getting called on the flop? Zaichenko thinks so.
Newhouse picked up a double gutter. A 9 or king would make him a straight. Zaichenko cutting out chips. Those are worth 25 grand each. That's a total of 350,000.
Well, Mark Newhouse, a pair, that double gutter, and a dream of back-to-back November 9s. Why not?
And there's a call. Zaichenko still with the best hand. Lucky is in with a guy who likes to stick around very deeply in a hand. And a king. Newhouse makes Broadway on the river. His stubbornness pays off.
That board has gotten pretty scary for that weak ace.
And there is the check from the weak ace, Zaichenko.
Newhouse, incidentally, has been nursing a right shoulder sprain since day 3.
A lot of poker players have that malady, it seems. And now Newhouse with that made straight. That is $1 million.
And if you're Zaichenko, at this point, what can he beat? Not much. All I can beat is me, but I'm not even in the hand.
Well, Zaichenko did all he could to shed Mark Newhouse, but Mark stuck around. Can Zaichenko get away? He does fold. Mark doesn't get paid off on the river, but he'll drag that pot away from the table chip leader.
Lucky river for Newhouse, but who knows, maybe a bet there would have won it anyway.
So Newhouse up to more than 5.4 million now. He has caught the right card at the right time in this event, particularly on day 5. Mark turned a flush against Chris Johnson and got paid off by top pair. Newhouse later turned a set of 6s and got paid off by Jason Leifer's top pair.
Maybe they should just call the turn the Newhouse. So, you know, you'd have a flop, a Newhouse, and the river. Darn! He Newhoused a set on me.
In a 3-way pot, he flopped 2 pair with 9-4. Yeah, I said 9-4. On the river, Leifer paid him off again with top pair.
Well, Newhouse either flops it, turns it, or rivers it. In his defense, that's 3 chances to come from behind.
Those are just some of the reasons why Newhouse is among the 56 remaining. Kyle Karanen still the chip leader. Zaichenko with another suited ace. He raises to 125. To Clayton Ham, a poker pro from Yorkville, Illinois. He's got ace-10.
He has a degree in business administration from Monmouth College in Monmouth, Illinois.
Short stack at the table.
The weak suited ace. All the rage in Russia.
Can we call a clock?
Come on.
Zaichenko wants him to move along.
Wait. We're on TV. You can't do that?
What did he say?
He just went like
I
that.
just said, come on. Come on. Dobre. No? That's...
I agree with Zaichenko in any language. Come on.
Wow. Must be a tough one.
Ham is all in.
That's a Hollywood I'm tilting.
Ham pushes with 11 big blinds left.
Newhouse with pocket 10s.
How much is that?
Oh, Newhouse playing from ahead pre-flop. This might confuse him.
715.
Big stack with a real hand and a shove in front of him. And Mark is going to re-raise to $1.5 million. Now to the small blind, Brian Roberts with pocket queens.
Well, Newhouse won't be playing from ahead pre-flop. He'll be back in his comfort zone.
What an opportunity for Roberts here with almost 5 million chips to start the hand.
Well, he's looking at an opening raise, a 3-bet all-in, and a 4-bet from Newhouse, who has him covered. But Roberts might not respect Newhouse's raise that much, thinking the big stack is just trying to isolate the all-in player.
So Roberts. And wow, Roberts folded the queens.
You haven't looked?
Nope. Nice. Here we go.
Kaiser now. Big blind.
Another 5-minute thing.
Small ace.
That's got to be a letdown waiting that long to see that hand.
I thought it was on him.
And he'll give it up.
All right.
So Newhouse has Ham all in. Ham with 1 over.
Well, Roberts now knows he made a mistake, and Newhouse now poised for the knockout.
Better than ace queen when he turns that one.
Yeah.
Here's the flop. 6-7 king, no help to Ham. The outs are from Ham's perspective. He doesn't know some of his outs are folded.
Ooh, I folded a big hand. I folded a huge hand. I didn't want to fold, but...
Turn card, another 6. Ham down to his last chance.
I'm sure you can imagine. What?
Is that really the varying spot?
I didn't want to go all in against ace-king and bust out of the tournament, that's for sure.
Ham's going to need an ace.
The river is a 9. That will bring an end to Clayton Ham's main event out in 56.
This ain't a cash game or I'd be snapping.
When you're running well, players fold queens to your 10s pre-flop. Newhouse up to 7th place. He moves back over 6 million chips again. The 2014 World Series of Poker is presented by Gentleman Jack, the Order of Gentlemen. And in part by the WSOP social game on Facebook and mobile. Try our new high roller tables today.
Any pot. Blind, I'm gonna call.
What did I do to make you upset? Just because I have more chips than you?
That's actually the most positive thing you got going for yourself. You can double me up.
Let's just keep it friendly. Try to enjoy ourselves here.
Yeah, but I've been having such a bad time.
You know how long me and him have been going at it? And now I busted him. I mean, that's just the best thing that could ever happen.
A quick look back at our current leader, Kyle Karanen, and his Day 5 Odyssey with Curtis Reistad.
Other than the occasional verbal misstep, I thought Kyle handled that buzzing in his ear very well, and he played quite well.
This is familiar territory for Kyle. He finished 38 2 years ago in the main event. Now, just a piano and guitar playing poker pro.
He readily admits he was quite nervous on day 6 of the main event 2 years ago when he was chip leader. Kyle seems much more at ease this year.
And we'll stay with Kyle. He sits on the button. Also sits next to high roller pro Dan Smith, as you can see, with pocket jacks. Karanen on the button.
Kyle once was a bartender, has designs on trying his hand at acting.
In the small blind, Chris Johnson wakes up with aces.
Johnson and Karanen are poker friends. Chris calls himself a country boy from Nebraska who loves country music. Kyle more of a indie rock guy.
Johnson looking at Kyle like a button raise, huh? And there is the re-raise with aces to 325. So back to Karanen now.
How much are you playing, Chris?
I think about 4.
Okay.
Lon, can you remember the last month and year in which you won with pocket jacks?
No, because it's never happened.
Oh.
Kyle trying to break that trend against aces. And there's the call from Karanen for 200,000 more.
Kyle with a big hand on the button, but Chris Johnson has him crushed.
All right, here's the flop. 10, queen, king, both with straight draws. They need each other's cards to make Broadway, but Kyle is open-ended too.
Yeah, that's a scary flop for both of them. I don't like talking hand ranges, Lon, unless it's in my hand range course at the Norman Chad School of Poker, but that flop hits both of their likely hand ranges.
Johnson only a 3-1 favorite now with the aces, but does continue for 350,000.
If I'm Kyle, I'm worried Chris has pocket queens or pocket kings or ace queen or ace king, not to mention pocket aces.
Karanen with a raise to 800,000. So that's cause for more alarm bells with Chris Johnson.
Yeah, if I'm Chris, I'm worried Kyle flopped the nuts with ace jack, or maybe he flopped a set. Next to Chris Johnson's name, it says 76%, but it might feel like 7.6% to him.
And Karanen working with more than twice the stack of Chris Johnson. But Johnson puts in 450,000 more for the call.
When I play Hold'em, Lon, the problem is I always think the other guy has it.
All right, they will see a turn card. 4 of diamonds, no help to Kyle, who is the one behind, but it's Johnson on his heels, it seems. Johnson checks it.
Well, what was that? I thought Kyle was motioning check there. I guess it was a check swing.
I was like, move your arm, I want to count your stack, I think. A much smaller stack than his own. Kyle Karanen now continuing to barge through on this hand, and there's a bet of $1,050,000.
This is actually a tough spot for pocket aces. Kyle essentially asking Chris if he wants to play for his tournament here.
Chris Johnson thought he liked the aces when he saw the button raise from Keranen. Now he looks like he's backed into a corner. And look at this, Norman.
Come here, bluff.
He gives him up.
Let's do it. I can't, dude. Really? Bluff. I'm not going to bluff you. It's pretty hard for me. It's hard for you to have the nuts there. That's right. You got ace jack?
Well, I think Kyle Keranen turned his hand into a bluff there.
I had 2 of the aces.
Skill and savvy from Keranen. Let's hear from Phil Wack and Antonio Esfandiari on that last hand.
I got to give credit to Kyle. I mean, this just goes to show how difficult it is to play your hand with just one pair, even if they're aces after that flop. I mean, if you have aces and the flop is 10, queen, king, it's hard to continue when your opponent's putting you to the test for your whole tournament.
Kyle knows that the jacks are no good. He knows his only way out is with another barrel, and it works. Aces, aces is usually a great hand, but cards can come and make your aces less good.
I agree. I actually think that in the long run, folding the aces there is probably the right play.
Tough, but right.
I can't believe one of our pro analysts is wearing a supervillain kingpin t-shirt.
We'll keep it at this table. Kyle with 9 deuce folds to Johnson on the button.
You might fold 3 10s flush shot, Kyle. I'm sorry? You might fold 3 10s flush shot. I mean, if I had 3 10s, I don't know if I'd play it that way. Yeah, I was wondering that too.
Meanwhile, in the small blind, Jorrit van Hulst has just raised enough to put Matt Waxman all in. And Waxman says, okay, let's go. I've got an ace.
You know, when you go all in mid-meal, that's bad planning. Just very poor culinary management.
Ace-5 for Waxman is ahead of the king-jack of van Hulst.
Waxman appears to be health conscious, yet he's eating from a styrofoam container.
Well, he's eating like he's going to stick around for another hand. He's that confident. Here is the flop. Jack trace 7. Van Hulst takes the lead with a pair of jacks.
And Van Hulst fixing his hair for the knockout.
I forgot you had a jack.
Waxman with a flush draw.
I didn't forget about your clubs.
Turn card, 8 of diamonds, no help to Waxman.
Yeah, and now he's rushing to finish his food because he's about to go bust.
Van Hulst trying to score the knockout. And there's a club! Waxman hits his flush. He'll stick around.
He ends up not going bust. Essentially, he ruined his meal. Bad play.
Well, a small double up for Matt Waxman, but it's a double up, and he is still kicking. Waxman will keep his seat at the main event courtesy of a river flush. Menu to table 1. Welcome back to the World Series of Poker main event telecast presented by Gentleman Jack. Eddie Sabat with just over 3 million chips.
I promised to get him a better t-shirt if he made it to day 6, and I did. A tuxedo t-shirt.
Dan Smith over 4 million.
Sure, he went to the University of Maryland for a little while, but do you think there's anything I could possibly say to him in which he would listen to me? No.
Dongua has nearly 4.5 million chips. He and a few other first-timers are making a big impact at the main event.
My best friend from Texas came out. A couple of Foozers also came out. Another guy from Arizona drove out for me. So, yeah, it's awesome. This is unrealistic. This is unbelievable. I'm out of my depth. All these guys are better than me, to be honest. I'm just trying to grind and keep it up. Kind of relaxed for some reason. I've 5-bet a guy with a mediocre hand, and usually I'm not like that. So, yeah, I feel good today.
This is just a game, right? Just enjoy the game. That's it.
The hair good?
It's like a big party. Why don't relax? It's just a relaxed thing. It's happy things. I'm happy.
He doesn't look happy with 3 clubs on the board, but Dongua did flop a set of deuces against Luis Garla, who turned the nut flush draw and Broadway draw. Gua checked.
Garla, 22-year-old Brazilian pro, wanted to play tennis professionally, but turned to poker.
And he bet 650,000. Gua, the 45-year-old artist.
That's big. I think if I no longer had to work, I'd grow my hair long and buy glasses with a red in them. I definitely would never wear a hoodie.
Certainly time for concern. And he does make the call.
I don't think Garla liked the sound of that call. Garla, of course, drawing to the nut flush and to the nut straight.
Nearly 2.5 million chips there in the middle for the taking. The river card 7 of diamonds. No saving card for Garla there. Gual checks again.
Garla wondering if one more bet can win it.
These two started with almost even stacks of just over 4 million. And Garla putting the green chips together.
Well, I think that Garla should just keep pushing those green chips over to Gual.
A very nervous rail for these players, and here it comes, 1,650,000.
If Gual called the turn, gotta believe he'll call the river unless he suddenly has buyer's remorse.
And there is the call with his set. Garla shows his busted draws. Gual picks up nearly 3 million new chips.
Big league bluff and a big league call.
Yeah, he's got heart. Meanwhile, Garla took a huge hit to his chances when his bluff went south. And now Gual up to almost 7.3 million.
It's a flush showing, man, with 3 deuces. That's a tough one. That's why they're there and I'm here. Holy cow.
Time now for the right move of the night. Brought to you by Gentleman Jack. Don Gual let Luis Garla bluff off a big chunk of his stack to win a huge pot with a set of deuces. Nothing amateur about the way this amateur played that hand. And now Don Gual is much happier as he stacks away.
You should dip into his IRA and hire a stacking assistant.
All right, close by, rafting guide / poker pro and San Francisco Giant fan Brian Devonshire just open raised to 130 with 6-4 off. His table mate Michael Finstein did pick up pocket jacks in the small blind and makes it 375.
I'm officially putting a moratorium on all river jokes involving rafting guide Brian Devonshire.
I'll do my best. The big blind folds, so back to Devo now.
Finstein used to play piano on summer cruises. Of course, Devo likes to raft, which is pretty much a roll-up-your-sleeves cruise.
You're right about that.
I don't want to tell Devo how to do his job. He's a top-notch poker player, but I really think it's time just to move on.
Well, he may have other plans for Finstein here. And he repops it to 775. Devo is an avid fly fisherman, but he's wading into some very deep waters here.
I got to call personal foul.
Not a rafting joke.
This is a 4-bet right here, by the way. Jacks versus 6-4 offsuit. What's that, about 50-50 pre-flop?
Yeah, in your game. And there's a call with the jacks, and I'm not sure Devo wanted to see a flop.
Well, I don't even know if a 5-bet would have ended it, but Finstein now out of position and at the mercy of Devo.
All right, this will be interesting. Deuce, king, 6, an overcard to the jacks, a pair of 6s for Devonshire. A check now from the jacks.
Now, I would have bet. See where I'm at, as we used to say at the Elks Lodge.
A check back from Brian Devonshire. Queen of hearts on the turn.
I certainly would bet now if I were Finstein.
But he checks now with 2 overcards to his jacks out there.
Finstein seemingly imploring Devo to bet him off his hand. And I don't know what Devo's thinking. After 4-betting pre-flop, he checked back on the flop.
With the bigger stack, Devo says all in. Finstein snap folds. It worked.
Not sure what Devo is repping with that bet, but Finstein can't call it. Example 1,043,761. Why poker is a game of skill.
The rafting guy didn't need the river to win that pot. Yeah, I went there, Norman. Well played by Devo. He keeps chipping up. Welcome back to the World Series of Poker main event telecast presented by Gentleman Jack. Kyle Carradine trying to put another notch in his visor with ace-10 of hearts, trying to run down the pocket 7s of the at-risk player, Chris Odell.
Odell, 13 big blinds left. Standard call from the big stack.
Odell, a 30-year-old online poker pro, lives in Delaware, looking to hang on with the 7s. Here's the flop, and Kyle nails the flop with aces up, but those diamonds give Odell oodles of outs.
Odell in a Phillies hat. That would have been good luck about 6 years ago.
4 of clubs on the turn. Chris Odell now on the precipice of elimination.
Odell needs a diamond or a 7, or he is wamboozled.
River card, the ace of clubs. Aces full for Kiernan means Chris Odell has come to the end of the road on his 2014 main event adventure. He'll win over 152 grand. Kyle Kiernan still the chip leader, over 12 million now.
Nothing like having 200 big blinds on day 6 of the main event.
He's running that table over. You see some of the recent departures from the main event as we get back to the featured table. Sitting tall in seat 1 under the gun, amateur Peter Placey. He works in the real estate information business. 8-6 of hearts.
At 57, I think he's the old man left here. I don't even know how they let him in. On day 6, they should card you if you're over 40. No entry.
He lives in Southern California now. Raises to $135,000 with the 8-6 suited. Brian Roberts folds. Ace-Jack for your Maryland buddy, Aaron Kaiser.
Like Kyle Kiernan, he loves to play guitar. He has scheduled a wardrobe consult with me after the main event.
Kaiser. Wow, Kaiser shows some respect for the under-the-gun amateur raise. Oscar Kemps with pocket 6s.
Kemps has a business economics degree from the School van Amsterdam. I believe they are the Running Rebels.
Business owner, born in Amsterdam, grew up in Belgium, still lives there.
Wow, we're down there already, huh?
Players getting word of recent eliminations. Kemps with the call. Folded to the Russian Zaichenko, 10-9 off.
Zaichenko, a Moscow State University grad. They have quite a rivalry with the School van Amsterdam.
And there's a call. William Tonking, poker pro from New Jersey.
All right, congratulations, guys. You're all top 50. You're all the top 50 greatest poker players in the world.
For this tournament over there.
Like the NBA did that top 50 of all time. It's right here.
All time. I like that.
The best right now are the best of all time usually, and we're the best right now.
Because they always progress and get better.
That's what I'm saying. They get better and better. So we're the best, clearly.
Tonking just made a re-raise, and that gets everybody's attention.
Well, Tonking trying to clear out the riffraff.
Tonking with King-Queen made it 420,000.
Oh, there goes Riff. He's not going to stick around.
Placey folds.
And there goes Raff.
Kemp's out of the way.
Zaichenko might be Riff and Raff, but he'll surprise you with Squadouche.
Zaichenko with the fold. Tonking will take it with some well-timed aggression.
Welcome to the table, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Must be nice.
27-year-old University of South Carolina grad likes it a lot.
He sits now with 54 big blinds. This pro from New Jersey has benefited from the introduction of online poker in that state. More importantly, though, he's a Rangers, Knicks, and Mets fan.
Wow, that is bad, awful, and horrific. My guess is he's also a Jets fan, and that would give him the New York area quadfecta of misery.
We'll keep it here with the interesting feature table dynamics. Zaichenko, better known as Zaya to his friends, with Queen 10 off and a raise to 125. Tonking with pocket kings.
He started playing poker in 2005 as a high school senior in a friend's basement. It's always someone's basement lawn, never a rooftop or even a balcony.
Tonking about to make more new friends at his new table with this big pocket pair. And a re-raise to 305. Who is this guy that joined the table? Roberts now with pocket jacks in the big blind.
You may recall Roberts made a wrong decision earlier with pocket queens. Here he has yet another big pair, and I suspect he's going to make the wrong decision again.
Again, these guys have not played that much together recently.
You know, we should start playing taps for the Lon McCarron Memorial Hand.
Isn't that true? And look at this, a lot of lavender chips going in. As Roberts re-pops it, 4-bets it to 720,000.
Zaichenko is thinking, it's madness around me, and I can't play.
He folds. Talking now with the kings.
Tonking new to this table, raised with king, queen, and picked up a pot. Now picks up a monster holding on his very next hand.
Yep, they're there. Trying to lure Roberts in now with what we assume will be another raise.
All in.
There it is, all in for $3.2 million.
Tonking pushes with more than 50 big blinds. This would be for maybe 2/3 of Roberts' stack. Remember, Roberts found out folding his queens was wrong. Don't know if he's in the mood to make another big fold against the new kid on the block.
There is the call with jacks. Roberts doesn't like it. And now Tonking shows the kings. Brian Roberts cannot catch a break.
Looks like Tonking is in the midst of a mini rush. If he goes on to win the main event, maybe he could buy the Mets.
Tonking looking very good for this double up through Roberts. Here is the flop now. 6 trade deuce. Tonking still good. No straights or flushes for Roberts.
4 ball maybe.
Roberts would be happy to take a chop pot now with a straight on board.
Turn card 9 of diamonds, no help to Roberts. Tonking a card away from becoming a big factor in this main event.
Roberts needs a jack and a jack only to knock out Will Tonking.
The river card is a 10, and that is worth nearly 6.7 million chips to Tonking as Brian Roberts is cut down to under 30 big blinds.
I wish I could do that.
Oh, I have to go to the TV table. I wonder what I'm going to do.
I play a lot better when I get kings against jacks.
Tonking now in the top 10.
I folded a huge hand. I didn't want to fold, but I didn't want to go all in against ace-king and bust out the tournament, that's for sure.
Bad timing, bad result for Brian Roberts. William Tonking, the latest beneficiary. Time now for another edition of First Timers.
It's a dream. I've played poker for a long time, and I always believed in it and loved it, and I knew I was just all right, but I didn't know if I was good enough to play, and it's more than I could have dreamed of already.
All in?
I could never afford it before, and well, and still can't. I got here, my dad helped me a lot, and then about 5 or 6 guys threw in $500 a piece too to help me get here. And I have points that I saved for my miles for traveling, so I got my hotels for the first 2 days free, and this is just surreal. I cannot even describe it. I just said it to my dad and my girl last night on the way home in the car. It's finally got to that point. It's been so unreal but now it's, why not me?
We're going to day 6, playing down to 27. I've seen it happen on TV. To be a part of it, it's unreal. You know, it's unbelievable. We're ready to come back and do it again tomorrow and play down to 27. I got to get in the top 27. You come this far, you have to get in the top 27. You can't get to the final 9 if you don't get in the top 27.
No, I feel good. I'm kind of dug in, and I've had some big hands, and I think that I've played some of those big hands pretty well. Feel good.
Hard not to root for first-time amateurs like Tom Serra Jr. and Scott Mahan and Billy Pappas and Dongua.
Serra in the small blind waiting on David Tuthill on the button with 8-7 of clubs with a stack of 2.6 million. Tuthill reaching for chips, a raise to 135,000 now.
Standard button raise. I've taught that for a long time.
Serra, though, wakes up with 2 red kings.
Serra, a proud member of the 1993 Girard High School Division II Ohio State Basketball Championship team.
And there is a re-raise to 330,000.
At the moment, I think Serra is prouder to be holding pocket kings in the small blind.
The big blind folds, so back to Tuthill, a Florida poker pro who won a World Series circuit event, has final tabled World Series and WPT events.
Tuthill sounds like an auditor in a crime novel.
He does make the call.
Well, Tuthill does have the type of hand that can chop down a big hand.
All right, here at the flop, Jack 6-6, 2 clubs. A flush draw for Tuthill. Serra's still good with the kings.
Serra's a longtime poker dealer. I think he prefers getting cards instead of giving cards.
Indeed. And he's got to keep hammering with those kings, with a possible flush draw out there.
He's handled chips before, right?
He is a dealer, yeah. And there is the bet, 465,000.
Tuthill with a decent stack, maybe 36 big blinds. Does he want to keep drawing to his flush?
Sarah with kings up now.
465.
It looks like Tuthill wants to come along.
Flat call.
Don't like Sarah talking during the hand. That's a first-timer mistake, I believe.
All right, turn card. 8 of spades. That pairs Tuthill.
That's 600,000.
And a quick bet of 600,000.
I'm not a bet sizeologist, Lon, but that's just too small. Makes it too easy for Tuthill to chase his flush. Tuthill's getting the right price here. If you're Marshalls or Kohl's, you want to bring in customers by offering the right price, but not if you're a poker player on day 6 of the main event.
Well, plus there are 2 clubs and 2 spades out there. That could spell trouble. Tuthill folds, and Sarah will take the pot.
Started to believe they were good.
Another first-timer mistake. You make Tuthill feel like he's playing well by showing him the big hand. Midwesterners are just too nice.
Quite a few first-timers making some noise at this main event. Sarah, Pappas, Mayen, and Guo, all with a real shot at the final table. Time now for Event 5 of the Side Action Championship.
Underneath the pot, we have a Cornish hen. They have to guess the correct weight. I'm just kidding. It's guess the correct pot size.
Pink chips are worth $5,000, green $25,000, white $100,000, and purple $250,000.
This is a tough event. We will lift the tray, and they will have 15 seconds to make an answer. Write it down. Here we go.
Can we use a calculator or no?
I'm in deep trouble.
Go.
I'm just going to get $1. You're kidding me.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Do it.
These guys don't have their answers done.
They have it. They're all done. The mouth. What do you have written down?
I have $5,250,000.
5.25 million. Next.
3.2 million.
Oh, I'm closest.
3.2 million.
I like your guess.
Next.
I can't win. 2.7.
2.7 million.
I think it's between you and me.
Next.
4.7 million.
4.7 million. The actual total was 10 million.
I said 10 million.
And you have the winner
I knew it.
here.
I said 10 million right away. I said I was way short. That's right.
Mike Matasso comes through.
2.7. Phil.
Yeah, but I counted 6 million right here. I just
he counted 6 million in purples.
Then he panicked and wrote down 3 million.
He wrote down a total chip count of 2.7.
Because I thought we had 7 seconds.
15 purples. 15. 2.7 total.
That is brutal.
4 million, 10 million, whatever. So just 3 more events left in the Side Action Championship. It's anyone's game. Back to action here. Serbian pro Vladimir Bozanovic flopped a pair of trays with an ace. Swedish pro Martin Jacobson has no pair after the turn.
Third pair top kicker versus ace high. This was the exact hand that ended Bat Masterson's friendship with Wyatt Earp for 7 months in 1883.
A bet from Bozanovic to 675.
Jacobson, 27-year-old Swedish pro, likens the main event to running a marathon, so he exercises regularly and eats healthy.
Again, no draw, but does have the bigger ace, but doesn't have a pair. And it's a raise from Jacobson to $1,350,000.
Wow, what a raise. Jacobson reads Bozanovic as weak. This is a classic example of play your opponent, not your cards.
Martin trying to look as strong as possible. Vladimir thinks there's something fishy going on, but he can't call. Martin Jacobson will take that pot.
By the way, Bat Masterson once said, every dog, we are told, has his day unless there are more dogs than days.
Bozanovic could really do nothing in that situation. Good hand by Jacobson. There you see the top 10 at the moment. 46 players remain. At the featured table, action is on former chip leader Mark Newhouse, who is just out of the top 10. Will Tonking open raise with Jack-8 of spades to $130,000. Newhouse now in the small blind with 5-4 suited.
2 more non-premium holdings here. It's like a squadouche flea market.
Newhouse with a re-raise to $330,000. Johnson folds his big blind back to Tonking now.
We've seen Tonking play King-Queen and King-King. Let's see how he handles Jack-8.
Well, he makes the call for $200,000 more. He is the chip leader at this table now. Heads up, Newhouse and Tonking. The flop is 6 king king. Hits neither.
That flop missed everyone in Clark County, Lon.
Newhouse first to act here.
And Newhouse thinking of being Mark Newhouse here.
He took control of the action pre-flop. He'll continue. 350,000.
Tonking smells something foul here. Let's see if he can play his opponent and not his cards.
And Tonking does fold, and Mark will take that pot, and he will regain the table chip lead and more. He's into the top 10 of the entire main event field. That was productive.
And let it be noted that Mark Newhouse also can win hands when he doesn't bink the flop turn a river. It's called playing poker and playing it well.
You know that face. Vladimir Bozanovic once again just flopped a set of jacks. Peter Placey flopped a flush draw. Placey bet. Bozanovic raised.
This is how you play pocket jacks, Lon. Flop top set.
Placey re-raises. Bozanovic all in, who snap calls. Vladimir at risk.
So Placey will gamble here for most of his chips on the draw. Bozanovic in great position to double up to a very playable stack.
Placey looking for help. That doesn't help. Bozanovic still good, one card to come.
Placey still looking for a club that doesn't pair the board to knock out Bozanovic.
It's the 8 of clubs.
Yes!
Placey's flush comes through, and that will mean the end has come for Vladimir Bozanovic in this year's main event.
It's a brutal game.
Vladimir also will collect over 152 grand. Placey will stack a total of 6.5 million chips, and that river club shoots him way up the leaderboard. If you thought poker was fair, take another look at that hand. Bozanovic flop top set, loses to the flush. One main event dream ends, another is still alive. The 2014 World Series of Poker is presented by Gentleman Jack, the Order of Gentlemen. And in part by the World Series of Poker Circuit Tour. Looking for live tournament action in a market near you? Check out the new schedule at WSOP.com. Back to Peter Placey, who flopped top 2 against Jorrit Van Hof's lowly pocket kings. The turn kept Placey ahead.
30-something pro against the 50-something amateur.
Placey bets 625,000. And a call from Van Hof. He likes those kings. And why not with that board? River card now. A 7 of clubs. Placey's queens up is best, but that puts a gut shot on the board. And he checks.
Placey checks because he doesn't want to get raised.
And another check from Van Hof. And 2 pair is going to take down the kings.
What a quick turnaround for Peter Placey. That's why they shouldn't let 57-year-olds into the Amazon room on day 6.
Placey adds more chips to his already impressive stack. Look at that, 8.1 million. I think people feel worse about losing with pocket kings. Aces have bad juju, but kings are kings. Big doings nearby. Matt Waxman's shove with pocket 10s was called by the pocket 9s of Kyle Karanen. All that before Eddie Sabat woke up with aces and shoved his 2.5 million in the middle.
Well, Matt Waxman is in dire straits here.
So action is back to Kyle with his 9s, and he makes the call, and he will try for the double knockout with the worst hand. A good spot for Sabat.
I have aces versus 9s and 10s.
Oh, I have the worst hand of all of them. It's exciting.
The tuxedo t-shirt brings classy cards, I believe. Matt Waxman, meanwhile, all in and maybe all out.
He needs to crack aces to survive. Sabat just doesn't want to see a 9. All right, here is the flop, and it is 4-7. Jack. Waxman not pleased.
Ace of spades we want.
Waxman wants a 10.
Sabat still in good shape for a scoop. King of clubs. Paint is good for Sabat. Waxman on his feet now.
Yeah, he'll try his pre-river trick again of getting up to leave. Only a 10 sits him back down.
The river card. 7.
Yes! Yes!
Sabat is a big stack. Waxman is out.
We've seen the boy likes to celebrate. Waxman's looking for someone with whom to commiserate.
Out in 45th place is Matt, winning over 186,000. Sabat all smiles as he now thrives in survival. Kyle Karanen still with a monster stack, but does drop to third. Waxman on his way out. And he delivers a parting shot to Eddie, who he thought was a little too joyous in victory.
Different strokes for different folks. Eddie's celebrations are innocent.
Well, time now for the DraftKings.com King of the Night. Peter Placey started day 6 in 23rd place, but has rapidly moved up the leaderboard. He now sits in 5th with just 44 players remaining.
Placey finished 144th in the 06 main event. He's in the final 50 here. He's gone from the real estate information business to the business of making deep runs in the main event.
Swede Martin Jacobson is now in first. Kyle Karanen in third. First-timer Dongua in 8th.
And Mark Newhouse in 10th, trying to sneak into another November 9.
The main event is serious business, but tonight it got really serious.
Congratulations, guys. You're all the top 50 greatest poker players in the world.
Brian Roberts made 2 wrong decisions.
All in.
While Eddie Sabat thrived at the expense of a frustrated Matt Waxman and Kyle Karanen.
Yes! Yes!
We're halfway through day 6. Just 44 players remain. For Norman Chad and Kara Scott, I'm Lon McCarran. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.